Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this March 11th, 2023. It's being brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated and also being brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. Well, as you'd expect in March, there's a lot going on. We've had a lot going on over this past week and there's more coming for many areas of the West and especially some of the northern plains areas. We're going to continue to have more active March weather. This means more mountain snows, which continue to pile up. More snow and cold across parts of the northern plains, the Dakotas, parts of Montana, out on the plains. There's been some snowy weather this past week, and there'll be more. And we're also going to see temperatures that maybe won't be quite as cold, as we have been very cold so far in the month of March. In most of the West, it's not going to be as cold. However, with that being said, we're still not going to see temperatures go the other way. They're still going to be colder than the 30-year averages. So stressful livestock weather at times will continue as we head into the next week. And with more folks getting into calving operations, we're going to continue to be on the lookout for more winter weather conditions. Over the past week, you can see the northern areas favored with some significant snows in this area right here. And we continue to see the West Coast, California getting more precipitation, as well the interior West here with more mountain snows and scattered snow showers across the lower elevations of the interior West. While along and south of I-80 and I-70 in this area here, there's been a little bit of a break in the weather over the last week. And you can see where the significant snows have been falling across the northern plains to the northern Great Lakes, back into the interior West. The snows continue to build up in the mountain areas, but we continue to have a little bit of a Chinook zone right here where a warmer, drier pattern east of the Rockies has kept these areas out of precipitation, which they need, but at the same time been able to avoid any really harsh winter weather conditions. But as we go deeper into March, to the middle to the end of the month, we're probably going to see a more active weather pattern that's going to probably bring more in the way of precipitation to some areas across the plains. Now, this is where we are as of today. Rain and snow will continue to move into the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast with strong, moist jet stream winds screaming across the Pacific and into California and the Pacific Northwest. A small storm going across the U.S.-Canadian border will make the northern plains cold and snowy again, with cold, wet conditions across the northeastern United States, while temperatures across the south beginning to become warmer, certainly more spring-like. But there's a lot of cold air up in the northern latitudes. Now, by the late Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, folks in the Rockies and the Intermountain West need to be prepared for a better chance of snow. A trough of low pressure will swing in from the Pacific towards the central Rockies. So as we get into late Wednesday and Thursday, we may be looking at some areas of snow, not only mountains, but on the plains, across portions of Wyoming, Colorado, the Dakotas, Nebraska, and maybe into portions of northwest Kansas as that system moves in. We're also going to see a major winter storm hit New England and the Northeast Metroplex early next week. That's going to be a big weather maker there. And as we go towards the next weekend, this is for the 18th, we have a cold area of low pressure over the Great Lakes in the upper Midwest. If this pattern unfolds, the door to Canada is open, and this is why we're still expecting, even though there could be some mild days around, livestock interests need to be prepared for more colder than average conditions from the northern and central plains to the West Coast for at least another week, as temperatures so far have been trending much colder than average, and at least for another week, while they may not be as cold, they're still going to be very chilly, and you'll need to plan on that. Over the next 7 days, we have a lot of precipitation coming into the west. Heavy snow in the mountains will continue to build those snowpacks. All of the Intermountain West, all the Rockies going to see some. There's more snow here in the northern plains. And in this area right here from southern Wyoming into eastern Colorado, parts of Nebraska and Kansas, this is that midweek storm system that could bring some colder wintry weather your way late Wednesday into Thursday of this coming week. Snowfall-wise, that's where you can see that over the next week. We could see that snow developing here a little bit further out into the plains, while the northern plains, the upper Great Lakes, New England, and the interior West and the mountain ranges of the West will continue to get snowed on. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you next week.